We're here at the old Naples campground right now in Naples, Maine, and this is a bit of history. This is called the Naples Cupola from the Bay of Naples Inn that was dismantled in 1964 and transported here in 1965. And Kevin, you remember spending time here as a kid?
Yeah, the campground was a lot of people came up from everywhere.
Yep.
A lot of people have a lot of memories here.
Absolutely. And what is the attraction to this? This is it's a piece of architectural and public history.
Right. It's been what 1898 is that the
1898. Yep. Late 1800s
when it was built, and fortunately somebody saved it at that time. I'm pretty sure his name was John Day. He owned the campground at that time, and he was involved in moving it.
Excellent.
But as most people know, it's just one of the last historic structures we have.
Now, this is one of the most talked about bits of history in the Lakes region, not just Naples.
You go into any store or people's camps or houses around the area, and you're sure to see a picture of or a painting or something of the old hotel with the cupola still on.
So you're saying this is really a miracle that it's still alive.
It is.
Well, show us around. The outside looks strong to you?
Yeah, the whole thing. You climbed under, you looked around,
Yep.
And poked around, and
strong timbers.
It seems like we should be. There shouldn't be any. Well, what we always hope until we start moving it around. But the plan is to strip the shingles off.
I see.
And as you see, it's in sections. Is to transport it in sections. Take a crane and
Lift them down.
put them on a flatbed, and they'll number all the boards as they dismantle it.
Yes.
They'll end up taking the molding off underneath this section here. So some of that stuff may not be able to be salvaged, but that's to access the end of the.
But that could be reproduced with simple pine.
Yeah.
Just that soffit.
Yep.
And what's the advantage of the plan that this gentleman that you met with, removing it in sections compared to some of the other plans? It might be a little more expensive, but it is well worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's really come down to one of our final options. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a joke, but it was a little tongue-in-cheek about getting a helicopter, and
because it's 35 feet tall.
Right, and on its side, if it was on a trailer, on its side, you're still looking at 24 feet tall. And since the day they moved it in, there's a lot more utilities.
That's the problem.
The bill for the cable company to go along and move the wires so they could get under that was
astronomical.
Yeah, it was.
That was yeah.
And CMP said they'd get together with me, but they
well, you and I know that's not going to be cheap money.
That wouldn't. Yeah, they weren't very optimistic.
And there's a time crunch because this land has now been sold.
That's right, and it's for sale again. So
this is at risk, and this is one of Naples' most famous icons. In it right now, the town owns it, and it is theirs for the taking. It's just a matter of getting people to chip in and to vote for it and to make this happen. You got the spot. You got a couple good candidate spots.
Yep.
But the biggest problem is get it off private property.
Right. Mike Courtney's talked to him. The rulings before. Everybody's been very adamant about trying to preserve it.
Yes.
Even right now, the current owner of the property, he's willing. He supports the preservation.
Well, as far away as Colebrook, New Hampshire, that newspaper ran a story all about it because they started to build the Bay of Naples there till it blew down.
Oh, it's funny, right? I forgot about
that big story. And then the man that ran the steamboat line, Mr. Goodrich, bought the parts, brought it to Naples, built it here. But it was even in New Hampshire, they couldn't believe that it still exists.
Crazy history. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, this is something that we can't blink on this.
No, I agree. So we appreciate all the support that people have for it, and we got to keep thinking about it because it's easy to let it fall by the wayside.
No, this is something that this is one of the good things we can do for town and leave a legacy behind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is not a joke. This is a real historic icon, and it's absolutely elegant. It's a Queen Anne Victorian era from the late 1800s. It's a Victorian era built by John Calvin Stevens, who is famous for all sorts of architectural masterpieces. And this literally was Naples' calling card to the world when this tower looked out over the town of Naples, and everybody from not just Maine or the Lakes region, but around the nation and even the world received postcards with this cupola on it.
Yeah, yeah. Let me look at the woodworking, the trim around the windows, and
Yeah,
all that decorative
the detail, right?
detail, right?
And this is the way they built things. And there was, and it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. So this is worth saving, and it's in great condition, much better than I thought it would be. I thought since the 60s, 50 years, that there'd be raccoons' nest. All the timbers look great.
Yeah.
So it's even in better shape than we thought.
And it's on, as we discussed earlier, on our options of whether it be on, to put slab or the gravel. This is a testament that the gravel is actually.
It didn't work out bad at all.
No.
But you know what? You notice here, see the big gaps. This is interesting.
Right.
Maybe with allowing breeze to filter through with some lattice work,
right,
you want to have airflow.
Absolutely.
Because that's what stops dry rot, is have fresh airflow.
Right.
How about the backside, Kev? Show us what we got here.
Well,
this is such a historic setting. Look at the old basketball net is still in there.
you can see a little bit of rot along the bottom, but it's really minimal compared to what one might think after all the years of sitting in the woods.
Sure.
Amongst these trees.
Well, this is mold. It may not be as much rot as it is just Clorox mold.
Yeah.
And a little bit of Bondo you could fill in if you had to, replace a couple boards.
A lot of that. A couple places where it's settled here.
Yep.
This is all easy standard wood. That's not
very simple tongue and groove pine.
All the details solid,
Yes. Now this just wasn't prepared properly, or the primer has faded away. But if this was primed properly with a good oil-based primer or something that would penetrate,
right,
and this would be great. And this is something that families could chip in if they wanted to. Once it's in place, imagine the adventure of people saying, I helped restore it.
And when it gets there, there'll be a lot of help needed for the painting of it and whatnot.
Sanding, scraping a little bit, vacuuming around as we bring it back. And what a point of pride this would be for the town.
And we're trying to get windows for it also, but that may be another phase.
That could be the second step. The first step and most important is to get it. Right now it's at risk.
Right.
The town owns it. It just needs to come onto town property where it can be seen and can be a visible icon again to inspire people. And then people will come out. Will come out of the woodwork, not to make a pun, but they're going to love to help with this.
Yeah.
And it's possible a lot of people watching this video might actually have their initials carved in this very woodwork.
That'd be even better.
You might have your initials here somewhere.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yep.
It looks like it might be that. Those might be the ends of shingles or wooden shakes for the roof.
Oh, I see. Yes, yes. Yep.
As we were trying to figure out earlier whether they had wooden shingles or...
There's a metal drip edge right around the whole thing. This is actually in great shape.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I wonder when they reshingled it, because it doesn't... I don't know.
That could be from the 50s.
When they moved it, maybe.
You think they shingled it when it came here to the campground?
After they got it here,
Maybe the Days did it?
I mean, that's a long time for a shingle to stand up under these conditions
Who
out
knows?
here, under trees and whatnot.
All right, well, let's take a shot here of the... Hey, Gogo, what do you say? Of the Naples Cupola. It's mid-April 2018, and this is the site that it's been in ever since 1965 when it got moved here. And the Days and the Rulins took very good care of this Naples icon, and they both knew how important it was to the town, and they wouldn't let it go. So now hopefully it's going to come back home again. That's great. Thank you, Selectman Kevin Rogers.
Thank you.